On today's episode of Warehouse Safety Tips, we're going to be talking about horseplay in factories and warehouses. So stay tuned. Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. If you're a seasoned vodcast viewer, this vodcast is going to be different from most that you watch. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money, so each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the vodcast. I want you to think about a couple situations that you probably have had at a facility that you've been in, whether it's a factory, a warehouse, or just any facility at all. And that is horseplay. Now, think about it more from a younger self type thing. If you're a young person, then you may already be in this situation. If you're an older guy like me, you've probably kind of been there, done that, and have the t-shirt. But when it comes to horseplay, I want you to think of the things that you do within a facility that may possibly be very, very dangerous, costly, and just overall not safe. And that would be things like sliding. Okay, it may be riding a pallet jack, like a scooter. It might be hanging off the forks of a forklift while it's being lifted. It might be climbing on a rack without any sort of harness, or jumping over things, or going up and scaring people, or just anything that is going to be anything away from doing your actual job. So think about this from a standpoint of a restaurant industry. Have you ever heard the statement, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean? As a child or as a worker, you might be thinking to yourself, that's not very nice. Just give me a break. All I was doing was taking a break for a second. But as the business owner, what you see is the loss of productivity. The horseplay might cause things to get broken. It might just be something where the customer sees it and doesn't ever want to come back, or a myriad of other situations. You don't really think about horseplay as being anything other than playing around until you really start examining the things that can happen from it. So the very first thing I want to talk to you about is going to be just the most simplest of terms. You don't go to work to play, you go to work to work. Okay? The next thing is going to be the safety hazards that fall from it. The things that can range anywhere from a warning of don't do that ever again to, unfortunately, a fatality. It may be a situation where, and everything in between, by the way, it is, again, loss of productivity, where you should be doing something, but you're doing something else. So it's taking away from the man hours that you should be putting forth toward the action. Or it may be actual loss, where something that you do causes damage to a machine. You tilt over something in the form of product that gets broke. Just overall loss in general in the next way, and that is lawsuits and fines. If somebody does unfortunately get hurt, they may sue the company. They may have fines levied against them by organization such as an OSHA, and just all sorts of different ways that it can cause loss and productivity loss. So make sure that before you engage in any sort of horseplay, again, right from the jump, you really aren't supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be working. That may not be fun, but that's not why you're at work. You're at work to work. The second thing is that it takes away from productivity. It can cause loss in the form of a company being charged or anything else, being levied against them. And again, it can get somebody in trouble or even cause injuries and even death. So make sure that you don't engage in horseplay. And guys, thank you so much for being part of another episode of Warehouse Safety Tips. Make sure that you go out, have a great day, stay safe, and here is a word from one of our sponsors.
It's scientifically unexplainable. It's virtually indestructible. And it's taking over the entire planet. But in a really good way. It's Mighty Line floor tape, the most durable floor tape in the world. 7 times thicker than average floor tape. Beveled to endure pounding warehouse traffic, and backed with a super strong peel and stick adhesive, so you'll never have to worry about painting shop floors again. Mighty Line floor tape, the only durable stripe.